Mike's and bad decisions. Let's get into it.
Welcome in. Welcome to episode 4, I want to say. We're going to get into this I'm going to be asking Jason here, my co-host, some questions about his gambling career and his YouTube channel. You guys should go check him out at Reno Low Roller. His link is in the bio. Pretty easy to find. Great dude. It's a lot of fun watching him. He does lives, but probably once a week, right?
Once a week.
Once a week, yeah. So, like I said, go check him out. A lot of fun. Um, so I kind of got a list here that we're gonna go down, just because I cannot remember all these questions. And I kind of categorized them to try and keep it simple going down the list, so we don't jump around too terribly much. The first one I want to know is, how did you get into gambling? What made you get into that? In YouTube, like
What made me get into YouTube, or what made me get into gambling?
what made you get into gambling, and what led you to getting into YouTube?
Gambling just started off as kind of like a little fun thing that I enjoyed doing. Going to the casino, put in a little bit of money, try to win a little bit of money. It was about the chase. So I guess I kind of started getting into gambling 2019. I want to say when I won my first hand pay, I think is when it was. I went into the Nugget Casino in Carson City. Well, I started that night actually in Fandango, and I had a few $100, and I ended up winning on a Monopoly game another $400. And I left there. My wife was at work. She worked at a nursing care center at the time. I was all excited that I won some money, so I stopped by the Nugget, and I wanted to try a little bit more because they had this Mega Bucks machine. Max bet's only $3. And so I went in there and I was playing $3 a spin, $3 a spin, $3 a spin, and it's like 2:30 in the morning. The casino was a ghost town. There was nobody there, no employees, no customers. I mean, you could have walked out of the casino with a slot machine, how dead it was. So I'm sitting there and I'm playing, and I ended up getting this win, and it was how was it? It was 7-7 double, I want to say, but it was like the star American flag 7 and another star American flag 7 and then a double on the Mega Bucks machine. And 3 doubles is the Mega Bucks on that machine. And I thought I won $270. And it turns out it was $2,700, and I didn't notice that right away. And so when I realized it was $2,700, I started freaking out. That was my very first hand pay I'd ever received in my life. And so I'm jumping around in front of the cameras, trying to get attention of anybody. Like I'm trying to create a scene. Nobody's coming out. 15 minutes goes by. Finally, some cleaning lady walks by. And I said, "Can you please go get somebody? I don't know what the hell just happened to the machine, but I think I just won money." She looks over at the machine and she's like, "Yeah, you won." She walks in the back. She goes, gets people. And all of a sudden, like 10 people come out. I don't know why so many people came out. At the time, it looked normal to me. Now that I've won a lot more jackpots, I don't know why 10 people came out. It only takes 2. And so, anyways, I guess they were just bored. There was nothing going on in the back. They all come out, they verify it, and they ask me, "Do you want to pay taxes on it?" And that was when I learned you could pay taxes on the spot. You could pay as little as 1% and as much as 100%. So if you want the whole 2,700 to go towards your taxes, you can. I thought it was weird, so I opted for the 24%, which is the standard deduction when it comes to gambling. And so they came out, they paid me my money. I went over to Stephanie's work and I told her I won. She said, "Quit lying." And I took the money and I slapped it down on the table at her work. That was kind of the start of my gambling right there. When I won that money, the feeling, the rush, because it was such a rush to win that kind of money. And $2,700 back then, the hand pay limit was $1,250 or $1,200. So anything over 1,200 was a hand pay. But that was my first hand pay. That was also my first time ever dealing with that, and that's where the start of me gambling really took place. As far as my YouTube channel goes, Stephanie and I went out on a date one night to the Pepper Mill, and after dinner, we went downstairs to go gamble. We won $1,000 on Queen Queenie, I think it's called. I don't really play this game too often anymore. It's still around. But it's like it's got the queen with the card soldiers and all that shit.
Okay.
Like they'll come walking across the screen and then you got a bonus. It's really cool. And then there's a wheel that spins. And whatever you get on the wheels, what you'll win. Some of the prizes could be really good. That night, we killed it on that game. And we were doing relatively small bets, like I think $3 or $5 bets. We ended up winning $1,000. After we won that, we went into the high limit room and there was this lady. I didn't know her at the time. She's feeding $100 bills into the machine like freaking crazy. She's just shoving them in there like she's printing the money right there. And Stephanie says to me, I want to know what she does for a living. I'm not going to go up to some stranger and ask her yet, but I did, not that night. So we leave. Stephanie wins her first hand pay that night on a 25-cent denom, $12.50 bet. Last spin, which was a lucky chance spin, she ends up hitting for $1,250 or $1,290, something like that. It's her first hand pay. And so Stephanie got into it when she got her first hand pay, because I'm telling you, when you get a hand pay and that machine starts going off, that rush, it's fucking exciting.
Yeah.
You know,
bet.
like and the more money you win, the more exciting it is. But like to get your very first hand pay, to pop your fucking hand pay cherry, even on a $1,290 hand pay, which is just, that's called a sand pay, honestly, now that I've been doing this for so long. She gets her first hand pay. She starts getting into it a little bit more. Not like me. I'm a degenerate. I gamble way too much sometimes. It's fun though. I love it. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't
Oh, yeah.
smoke, so that's my pastime. And so anyways, we leave. About a month later, we go back to the Pepper Mill for another date. And this lady's there again. And this time I want to know what she's doing for work, because I'm clearly doing something wrong. I go in there with $500 and it's like, that's either going to make or break my fucking month if I lose that money. And so I get the gulls. I walk up to this lady and I ask her what she does. The story she told us is she was a CFO for a construction company. Turns out it was all bullshit. I mean, she really was that, but she was embezzling money. We didn't know that at the time. She tells us she was a CFO for a company. She has this YouTube channel. She tells us what it is, and I won't say it on the air because she did become a friend of mine, and the whole situation's fucked. If you know who she is, you know who she is, but I'm not throwing her name out here, and I'm not throwing her YouTube name out here because she's already been through way more than enough. But anyways, I would go back, and she talked to us for quite a while. That night. Very friendly lady, very, very friendly lady. She was so nice. I ended up going back over and over and over again, and I would sit downstairs with this lady for hours watching her gamble. And her method worked, all right? Where she got the money is irrelevant. How she was gambling and winning was impressive. I was like a moth to a flame watching her gamble. And when I say hours, I mean I would go downstairs where she would show up at about 11 p.m. She would stay down there until about 5 a.m., right? And she'd record her bonuses, and then sometimes she'd record her whole session. And it was crazy because she's doing $250 a spin, right? What she'd do is feed the machine $300 bills, three $100 bills, and then she'd hit spin. Sometimes she'd get something, sometimes she wouldn't. Then she'd feed a couple more $100 bills and hit spin. Then she'd feed a couple more $100 bills, spin. But it seemed like every 10th spin or so, she's hitting a jackpot. And we're like, what the hell are you doing to hit all these jackpots? And when I say jackpot, to her, $5,000 was called play money. Okay. That was her play money. Like if she won $5,000, she's like, oh, play money.
Oh, gotcha.
Just nonchalantly. Like, holy fuck. It got to the point where I started fucking with her. If it was anything under 10,000, I'm like, oh, look, it's play money. But she'd start laughing. We'd have a good time with that. Anything over $10,000, that was a real hand pay to her. Right. So she'd hit, and I have a picture where one night she hit $57,500 on a lucky chance spin on a $250 bet, which on those $1 million Dragon Links, a $25 denom, that's the minimum bet is $250. On the $10 denom, that's the minimum bet, $250, right?
Good Lord.
Yeah. And she was doing that like crazy. And so she told me about the YouTube thing, and at that time I was just gambling. And during our conversation, she's like, "Well, if you're gambling frequently enough, you might as well record it and post it to YouTube. Just come up with, like a non-offensive name." So I came up with Reno Low Roller. And then I started catching shit because of Vegas Low Roller. They're like, "Oh, you're copying Vegas Low Roller." I'm like, first of all, Vegas Low Roller does not cuss in his videos. I do. So fuck you. Okay. Don't ever accuse me of being a copycat. The way he gambles and the way I gamble are two different things. Clearly, he's far more successful than I am at it because he's one of the fucking OGs. He's been doing this shit for years. I think like since 2015, he's been doing it.
Yeah. Well over 10 years.
Yeah, I didn't jump into it until many, many, many years later. He is, I don't want to say an idol of mine, but like he's an inspiration of mine. I always loved watching Daniel, Vegas Low Roller. Um, he's very entertaining. You know, his gambling technique is very unique. He'll do $100 on pennies, and he'll either do like mid or max bet, depending on what the max bet is. Then if he loses that money, he'll go to 2 cents, and he'll try to bet right around the same as he did on pennies. So if he was betting $6 on pennies, he'll try to find a bet on 2 cents at $6, then he'll jump to nickels. And he's like, I'm up in the bet, so he'll go to like 750, and then if he loses that, he'll go to dimes. I've watched this dude go up and down like a freaking roller coaster. It's amazing. But anyways, back to this lady. She was telling me you should record it. So I said, all right. And she helped me get my YouTube channel started.
Okay.
Right. She was giving me the pointers. This is how you do it. She actually helped me set up my YouTube channel.
Well, that's cool.
Right. And so that was the birth of Reno Low Roller. And I believe that was 2021 when I officially started Reno Low Roller. Because before that, it was just under my name, my YouTube channel. Because I've always had a YouTube channel forever.
Right.
But my YouTube channel didn't start until, I want to say 2020 or 2021, right around COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I started it. And I
Well,
didn't start it because of COVID, dude. I was working.
Well, I mean, all the casinos were shut down too, basically, right?
Oh, that was horrifying to watch that shit, dude. Like, I started getting these deep, dark thoughts that the government was in some kind of a fucking thing because you watch these casinos shutting down the way that they were. Every day, I'm like, are they going to fucking blow these buildings up and make it look like some kind of a fucking terrorist act or some
Right.
shit? Because they're vacant. So, I mean, like, it would have been easy to plant explosives in,
Yeah.
but like,
Definitely, especially in a town like where we live, it's really eerie to be downtown and,
yeah.
and see
Well, like, I remember
nothing.
So when I came in from Carson City, I'd come up over a hill, which is Mount Rose, right? And as you come down the hill in the distance, you could see all the casinos lit up. And I remember the very first day I drove over that hill and you couldn't see a single casino because all the lights of the casinos had been shut off. It was one of the most eerie fucking feelings I've ever felt in my
Yeah.
life,
I bet.
But that was the birth of Reno Low Roller. And I've been doing it ever since. I've had my ups and I've had my downs. And I know you want to dive more into each one of those. So I'll let you ask the next question.
Okay, yeah. So, next one is gonna be. I think I know the answer to this, but obviously everybody else does it. But I want to go over it again. Your first big win, and like what were you thinking when it hit?
I'll play out that whole night for you. So the night I hit it was my first and only grand jackpot I've ever hit. I was not even at 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. It was early on in my YouTube days. I was trying to get to 1,000 because at 1,000 you get monetized.
Because you're at like what 7,600 right now, 7,800 somewhere in there.
I think
You're on your.
I think it's like 7,400 right now.
Okay, you're up there though.
I'm
On your way to 10 grand.
Yeah, 10 grand is where I'm going. So that day, I had already made friends with a lot of YouTubers. One of them was Big Slaughter. If you guys haven't looked him up, look him up. Big Slaughter. He's a super cool dude. He goes live a lot. He does members only lives a lot. Good friend of mine. Find his page, subscribe to him if you like gambling videos. He does the best lives because he can read comments and gamble at the same time. I can't figure that shit out. Like I'm too busy watching this screen and not this screen, and I'm pressing the button watching this screen, so I don't read comments.
Yeah.
That's why I have Stephanie with me. She reads the comments and responds. But he could do it all. He's really good. So I talked to Kurt, it's Big Slaughter. I say, hey, man, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. You're doing a live tonight. You mind if I join you so I could try to get some of your subscribers over to me? He says, yeah, man, absolutely. This was on Sunday when I talked to him. on a Sunday. And he says, Monday, I will be at the Atlantis. Meet up with me at the Atlantis. And that's in Reno, the Atlantis Casino. And so Stephanie and I go to the Atlantis on Monday. Kurt's not there. I call Kurt up. I'm like, hey, man, where you at? He's like, I'm still at the Pepper Mill. I ended up getting an extra night over here. I'll be there tomorrow. So I was a little bummed out. And I tell Stephanie, I had $400 on me that night. I tell Steph, I'm like, well, let's gamble since we're here. You know, let's see if we can win something. So we sit down on Tiki Fire. It's a Lightning Link game. Really fun. I love this game. It's kind of hard, but when it pays, man, this machine will hit bonuses back to back to back to back to back, just like that. And so we sit down. I put in my first $300, and it's literally the only $400 I have, and we're at Monday, so payday's already gone by. This is all the money we have, but I had this money set aside for gambling with Kurt. And I lost the first $300, and I was getting really pissed because if I don't win something with this money, I'm not going to be able to gamble with Kurt when he comes there on Tuesday. I tell Steph, my stomach's hurting, dude, because I'm getting mad. I tell her, I'm going to go use the restroom, and then we'll leave. And I go in there, I use the restroom, I come back out, and something inside of me said, you need to fucking ride or die. So I throw in my last $100. And this video is on my YouTube where this happens. I throw in my last 100. We get down to the last, I think it's like $1.76 in the machine. It was my last spin. And it drops me the Tiki Fireballs and then the fucking major slaps for $7,800.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit, right? Super excited now. Like my stomach's hurting for a different reason now because of excitement.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting this at all. I was just hoping to hit a fucking bonus and win my $400 back. I ended up winning. It was like, fuck, I don't know. It was a couple years ago. It was close to $8,000. The $7,800 for the major was already there, but I think the rest of them were just kind of like small balls, like $5, $10, whatnot. So I think it was like $7,900 total what I won. I had them take out 25% in taxes, and I took the rest of it. I kept $1,400 on me, and I put $5,000 in my bank. Now I got fucking money. I'm happy. Right? Because at the time, Stephanie and I were trying to save. We were trying to buy a house. So I added this to the money I had in the bank. It gave me, for the first time in my life, $12,500 in my bank account. And I was super excited because I had my $1,400 cash for gambling with Kurt on Tuesday. Plus, I had the $12,000 in the bank. And the next day comes up, and I'm supposed to meet up with Kurt, I think at like 6 o'clock, but I'm running late because of my job. Always my fucking job, man. It's always getting in the way. So I'm kind of like in an anxiety level mood and anxious because I'm stressed that I'm already behind schedule. And I call up Kurt. He doesn't answer. I find out he's doing his live already. And I'm like, fuck, we need to get there. So I'm watching him on my fucking phone as I'm driving to the Atlantis. And I'm watching right where he's at because I know the Atlantis really well. So when he sits down on a machine, I know where he's at, right? So we get there, we rush in. He's playing Huff and Even More Puff. It was when that game relatively new to all the casinos. So I know right where these machines are at. So we rush in. The machine to his left is open. Yeah, I could sit down next to him. Right? We pop in on him while he's doing his live. Kurt shows me and Stephanie. I'm wearing my WM uniform. Right? Because I didn't even have time to change because I was just trying to get there. I sit down to his left, dude, and I put in $100, and his live turned into my live because I'm hitting all the fucking bonuses and he's not hitting shit. And he's like, do you mind if I record? I'm like, dude, that's why I'm here. You know,
Right.
Absolutely fucking record it, bro. We want some entertainment for your channel. And so I'll hit a bonus and he'll start recording it. And then he'll go back to his and boom, before, like as soon as he turns his fucking camera, bam, I get another bonus. So I turned $100 into $900, right? Within a matter of like fucking 10 minutes. I cashed a ticket out for $700. We get up, we go play some Louis Gold. He loves to buy bonuses. This man has a 30-minute long bonus video from Louis Gold buying a bonus. He ends up winning more than the fucking grand jackpot in this video. It is an amazing video on his YouTube. You guys should go check it out. I've never seen Louis Gold do what it did that night for him. And it's damn near a 30-minute long bonus video for Louis Gold. And no, the casinos do not pay Kurt. Kurt pays his own shit. Yeah, they'll give him a little bit of free play. They give me a little bit of free play, but it's not like the big YouTubers where they're paying them to be there. Kurt's not paid to be there. His is legit his own money. So anyways, I lose $200 on Louis Gold. He breaks even on Louis Gold, and he ends his live, right? At this point, it had been about 35, 45 minutes of me being there. It was entertaining. I did gain, I think, like 300 subscribers that night. I made my 1,000 subscribers that night. He says to me, what do you want to go do? I said, because at the Atlantis, I've always had good luck at the Atlantis. I don't know why I don't gamble there more. I said, let's go to the high limit room. I've always had good luck in the high limit room there. Let's go try to win some of your money back. He says, all right, cool. In the high limit room, there's a happy and prosperous, then a brand new peace and long life. These are mid-limit Dragon Link. And then they had $1 Million Dragon Links, which was Golden Century, and then a brand new Panda Magic, right? So the Peace and Long Life and Panda Magic were the two new machines. Prior to that, they only had the one mid-limit happy and the $1 million Golden Century. That's all they had for the Dragon Link in the high limit room. Well, they had Not a Moon, but that one's, it doesn't go to 1 million, and it starts at like 50,000. So it's like one of those weird machines. And I don't ever play it because every time I do, I lose. Because I don't know, that one sucks. So anyways, I tell him, I say, you play happy. I've always had good luck on that machine. I want to see you win some of your money back. I'll play Peace and Long Life. I've never even gotten a fucking bonus on this machine, you know, up to that night. And if you guys go on my YouTube, it's actually pinned at the top. This is the night that I won the grand jackpot. It's a great video. It's an hour and 13 minutes long. But everything in the beginning is actually from that same night. It happens after I hit the grand, but I put it in the beginning to make you people fucking watch the whole video because I need the views. It's a great video though, dude. Like fucking hand pays and fucking excitement and joy. It was so much fun that night. Everything that happened, it looked like I had some kind of black magic power. Okay. I got Kurt to my right. I got Stephanie to my left. She's sitting at Golden Century. She's not playing. She's just hanging out. Kurt's playing happy. I'm playing peace. And I tell Kurt, I'm like, I've never even gotten a bonus. And I hit the button. Boom, I get a bonus. Right? And so I'm like, it's the hold and spin. It's where you get 6 orbs. And then if you get 15 of them, you win the grand. I put in $100. I put my $700 ticket on the machine, right? So when you look at the video, when you guys see me going over to Peace and Long Life, that $100 was the first $100 I stuck in that machine. When I got down to is like $73 or something, was when I hit my first bonus. And for 12 minutes and 35 seconds, because that's what that video was, I was recording the whole time. 12 minutes and 35 seconds from the time I put in the first 100 to the time I hit the grand jackpot, right? And I hit bonus after bonus after bonus, and everything, it looked like I voodooed it. I said, I've never gotten free spins. Boom, I get free spins. And so jokingly, I said, well, I've never won a grand before, right? Mm. And so I continued playing, and I in the video, I said, I'm going to try $10 spins, and whatever happens, happens. And I go to dimes, $10 spins, and I slap a $500 miner. I think I had like $800 in the machine at this point. Still got my $700 ticket. Still have the rest of the cash in my pocket. And I get a $500 miner. It's 3 in reel 2 and 3 in reel 5 is what I get to trigger. Right? So I get my 6 orbs. And I'm ecstatic because now I have what's called a comma. Right? It's anything over $1,000. That $500 miner gave me a comma. So if that's all I won, I'd be over $1,000. And so it starts filling in, and Kurt's and it gets to the point where reel 3 and reel 4, the bottom 2 on both of them are blank, and Kurt says, it's not done yet. And at that moment, the 2 bottom ones slapping on reel 3 and 4. So that leaves reels 3 and 4, the middle section is open. And I've seen 14 orbs hundreds and hundreds of times. I didn't think nothing of this. So the 14th orb slaps in, and everybody up to this point has told me, you need to see the 15th orb, otherwise you're guaranteed to not get it. I know that to be, for a fact, bullshit at this point, because in my video, it never appeared. Spin 1, nothing, right? Spin 2, nothing. So jokingly, I do a drum roll, and I say, shh, and I slap the button, and I say, boom. And as soon as I said boom, fuck, it slapped in there, dude. 15th orb. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Holy shit. I just hit the fucking grand. Like, I started freaking out. My buddy Kurt was screaming louder than me. And it's funnier than fuck because he didn't hit the grand. I did. And he's yelling louder than me. And Stephanie immediately breaks out into tears. She's fucking crying. You know, like, this is $104,000 that I just hit.
Wow.
Yeah, it is my biggest jackpot ever. And it was completely by mistake because we weren't even supposed to be there. This video was supposed to take place Monday. Right. And if it happened on Monday, I would have hit the $7,800. I wouldn't have been back on Tuesday.
Right.
You know? And so we hit the grand, and talking to the security and the casino manager later that evening, because there's a lot of process that goes through when you hit a massive jackpot like that. They open up the machine. They start running code on it. They start looking up everything. They're playing back all the surveillance video from the second you walk in the door. Make sure you didn't fuck with that machine, right? Because they don't want to pay out that money, right? They do, but they don't. You know, it's like they want people to win.
If they're gonna pay it out, they want to make sure that
They want to make sure it was
win.
legit.
Yeah.
So when you hit it like the $7,800, it took them maybe 6 minutes to pay me out. When I hit the $104,000, it was well over an hour before I received cash. Okay. Well over an hour. That's the difference of hitting a less than $10,000 jackpot versus hitting an over $100,000 jackpot is the time. Because they're replaying everything. You know, they're replaying your footsteps. He walks in the door. He parks his fucking car. He walks in the door. He walks to this machine. He does this. He does that. You know, they're checking your fucking hands. They're pulling up the video. They're zooming in on everything that you're doing to make sure you're not tricking you can't trick these fucking machines like you could in the old day. So I don't know exactly what they're looking for. I mean, if there's a way you can do it, I haven't heard of it. So anyways, while I'm waiting for my money, I got the casino manager and the floor manager and the slot manager and the head of security all over there. And they tell me while I was gambling, because I was hitting so many bonuses, there was these two guys standing behind me just watching everything that I was doing. Okay, I didn't notice them. I did not even notice them until they pointed them out after the fact. Apparently, these two guys were known in the area for following people home. And they chased them off before they could do anything. I wish they would have arrested them, because if they actually have a history like this, they follow people home and they rob them.
Right.
Okay. These two guys were standing back there before I even hit my grand jackpot. There was 3 security guards standing back there and 2 slot attendants that I noticed. I seen them back there. And this is before I hit my grand. And so I found it kind of suspicious that there's 3 security guards in there and there's 2 slot attendants standing in there. And they're all watching what I thought was me, but they're actually watching these other 2 guys. And so finally, the time that the money comes, security's already chased these 2 guys out of there, because that's a lot of money. They said, how do you want your money? They'll pay it. They'll either deposit it directly into your account, they'll pay you in a check, or they will give you cash, right? They ask, do you want to take taxes out? I said, absolutely, dude. I want you to take out $25,200. Right? That's what I had him take out, $25,002.
Is that like a random number, or is that kind of like
I did a little bit of math with it on a percentage basis, and so I had them take out 25,200, which you guys could check it. I don't know. I think it was like 24%.
Oh, okay.
And I rounded it up is what I did.
Okay.
Because it was 104,707 total what I won. So anyways, they bring me my cash, and dude, it's a fucking stack. $100,000 is a lot of $100.
Yeah, that's a lot of cash.
So they have it all rubber band together, dude, and I'm trying to pull out a little bit of cash to tip these fucking people. And that was hard to do. You know, like I don't know what to do. I've never won this kind of money. I didn't want to hand it off to anybody because it's like I'm afraid if I hand it off, I'm gonna drop it all, and
you're never gonna see it again or something.
Some shit's gonna
Yeah, all the fears that you never had or that you realized you had have all come to surface at that
And
point.
so, anyways, that night I also found out that casinos have vaults for players. They have lock boxes, security lock boxes.
Oh, that's smart. Okay.
And so I asked them, I said, is there any way you guys could hold all this money for me? Because I really don't want to be walking around the casino with $104,000 fucking dollars, you know? And they're like, yeah, we have security double key lock boxes that you go in, you sign in, and you sign out. And so they have the biggest fucking security guard I've ever seen in my life He escorts me. And when I say big, I mean like he was like fucking Goldberg big. I don't know if you know who Goldberg is, the wrestler.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
big dude,
big dude.
fucking dude. This dude was fucking. I wouldn't want to fuck with him in a dark alley. He'd break me in half like a twig. But it was cool. He's the nicest guy in the world. He walks me down with one of his armed guards. And so he takes me to this little back room, and it's tiny. This guy's so fucking big, dude. We could barely fit in this room together. But he had to be in there with me, so it's like, I have all the money. They give me the box, and I place it all in there. I say, hold on, I got to get a photo of this. I snap a fucking photo of all this money inside this lockbox, and I close it. I lock it. The attendant locks it. I take my key. She takes her key. And I watch my money get put into the lockbox. And the whole time I'm thinking, I hope this bitch doesn't break into my box. Like, I know she's fucking underpaid. That's tempting to know there's that kind of money in that box. But she didn't. They were all on the up and up.
Yeah.
And so that night I kept $10,000 cash on me. Well, it was 9,000. And so I go back out there, and Kurt and we do another video. He starts a new live. And he's like, do you mind if I do this? I said, no, Kurt, absolutely. That's the reason that we are here tonight, is I need 1,000 subscribers. You need more views. Well, that night I got Kurt for the first time in his life. He had more than 1,000 viewers at one time in his live. And then during the live, somebody started some shit with Kurt where they got his video taken down in the middle of the fucking live.
Oh,
Right?
really?
So it sucked. It was a good fucking video. Right? And he got it put back up eventually, but that night there's 3 lives from him. There's the live when I got there, then there's the live after I won the grand, and then there's a dead spot, then there's a new live that he started after. In that point of after I won the grand till the end of his second live, I won 2 more hand pays. One for $2,200 on Buffalo Link on a $25 spin, and then one on Mighty Cash for a $12.50 spin, I think it was, for $1,300. But I was hitting, dude, hitting. I kept a little over 9,000 of the money that I put in the lockbox with me. When I walked out of the casino, or when I finished that live before I grabbed my money, I had $15,000 on me. So I increased my money from that 9,000 that I had. At the end of the night, I go back to the lockbox to get my money. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get this out of this building without people knowing this is all cash? And the lady's like, well, we could have you escorted out with security. I said, can one of you guys go get a doggy bag from one of these restaurants? And they looked at me. I said, yeah, it's a brown paper sack. It'll look like we just got done fucking eating. Nobody will know there's cash in there. And they're like, that's actually kind of a smart idea. So one of them runs over to one of the casinos in there, because all of the casinos or all of the restaurants in the casino have the same exact doggy bag.
Right.
And so it's just a brown paper sack. And so they run over to the nearest one. I think it was Red Blossom or some shit. I don't know. They come back with the biggest doggy bag they have, and I set the bag up on the counter, and I start taking the money out and putting it in this fucking bag like a drug dealer, dude. It was fucking great. And then I put the money in the bag. I give the security guy a $500 tip right there. I said, get me to my car safely. All right. And he says, when you leave, you need to watch your mirror. People will follow you home. I said, bro, I got an hour drive home. If there's anybody following me, I'll fucking know by the time I get to USA Parkway.
Yeah.
Okay. And from there, I know right where the sheriff's department is. I could go straight over there if there's somebody fucking following me. He says, just watch your mirror. Okay. Too many times people have been followed home and they've been fucking murdered over a lot less. You have a lot of money in that bag. I said, all right, thank you. I said, give him his $500. We leave the room. Stephanie's waiting for me out there because, like I said, there wasn't enough room for me and her in there.
Right.
They walk us all the way to our car. We get in the car. I put the bag in the back seat. We get in the car and we look around, surrounding check, take off. Nobody's following us. We're good. We get to our house. I bring in the bag of money and I just dump the bag of money out on my bed. And I'm looking at it. This is so fucking surreal. All of this cash, stacks of $10,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, dude. And when you win that kind of money, they band it up in stacks of $10,000, right? Then plus I had the $15,000 in loose cash. I just take the money and I think somewhere around I have a picture of my cat Mittens with all that money on him.
Really?
I took he's laying on my bed. So I took the money and I just dropped it all right on my cat. And he just looks at me like, motherfucker. I also have a picture of my cat holding my fucking AR. Like he's laying on my bed and I lay the AR on him and I put his hands around it. There's a little paws.
Yeah.
It's cute. I love my cat. But yeah, so that was my biggest win ever. And it's absolutely fucking surreal. When you see it on the screen, you don't fucking believe it. Like, you know it's there, you know it's real, but you kind of got to pinch yourself. Like, am I fucking dreaming? Is this another one of those dreams? Like one time I dreamed that I won $33,333,333.33. I thought it was a fucking weird dream because all of the threes. But when you do the math on most of these jackpot wins, they all end in threes for like Powerball and Mega Millions, you know. So it'll be a bunch of sixes or a bunch of threes. You know, you just keep going. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, all the way down. But when you win that kind of money, dude, it's absolutely fucking surreal. I recorded a lot of fucking video with that money. I did a lot of shit with that money. I paid a lot of bills with that money.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, man. That's a big win right there.
Yeah.
Um,
That's still to this day my biggest win and my only grand jackpot.
yeah. And so you've been doing it now for about 6, 7 years, right?
6, 7.
Yeah. So about 6, 7 years, and out of all the experience that you have until now, would you say that what helps more, skill or luck? What is that? What does that mean anything to you? Do you?
So, how much do you know about slot machines?
I know nothing. I'm not a gambler. You know that.
All right. When these slot manufacturers build these machines, they spend billions of dollars on psychologists to fuck with you. All right. You'll get patterns of 5 orbs will drop down on Dragon Link. I'll use Dragon Link for most of my examples because it's the easiest one to explain, but all slots are built the fucking same. Some manufacturers have a better RTP, which is return to player. Some of them don't. Like the bonus frequency on a game on one game versus another might be better. Sometimes the bonuses are better on one machine or one manufacturer to another. But they spend billions of dollars on psychology to fuck with the player, to make you think that there's a bonus coming. Oh, this machine owes me. Oh, I put in so much money, a bonus is due. It's a computer.
Just that's why I don't play
Okay.
them. It's because I get that feeling.
It's
You
a
know,
computer.
I'll sit down. I'll be like, oh, I'm getting. I've been playing this long enough now. I'm
Yeah.
due for a win.
So when these manufacturers build these machines, they build it for the long run, right? Every push of the button has an equal opportunity to win a jackpot. Every press has an equal opportunity to win. It does not mean you're going to get. It does not mean you're going to win. It just means you had the same chance that you did on the next spin or the previous spin. So when they say that the slot machine has a 86% RTP, that just means that that's the easiest way to explain it to somebody that doesn't understand slots. It means that you have 86% better chance, or not better chance. You have 86% more return to player than you do. Like the casino is going to still get their little bit of money on every spin,
Right.
right? That's why they have them in there. The casino has what they say no fucking control over any of these slots. They put them in there because they make money on these slots. That's their bread and butter, right? That's why it takes up the entire bottom fucking floor at most casinos. It's their attraction floor. It's basically like a big arcade for grown-ups where you have the potential to win massive amounts of money, but you also have the potential to lose massive amounts of money. All right. And I've had my upswings and I've had my downswings. Right now I'm on one of my downswings where I can't seem to fucking win to save my life at any casino. Like I'll win a little bit and then I get into the chase. Right? Like, oh, it's hitting. I'm going to win more. And then you end up fucking losing everything and then some. So the RTP is based off over years and millions of spins, not one little fucking 45-minute session or one little 3-hour session.
It doesn't calculate from the minute that you sit down.
No.
It calculates from the last however many people have sat in that thing
It
since it's been
calculates
put into
from the
that floor.
day that machine was first turned on.
Okay.
Okay. That's what it's pulling from. So the easiest way to explain this is imagine, and we're going to say that you have bowl with 100 balls in it, right? Each ball has a different value. We'll say 50 of those balls have a 0 value, which means that's a losing spin, right? The other 50 balls all have a value ranging from 1 cent all the way to the grand jackpot. Okay. So any one of those. And this is 100 balls is not actually what it is. It's more in the millions, right?
Right.
Millions, because of you got 3 lines and 5 reels. How many different fucking combinations there are there with that? Right? It's millions of different combinations. But we're just saying 100 balls, 50 of them are dead spins, 0 value. The other 50 are wins with a value of 1 cent all the way to the grand jackpot. There's going to be 1 grand jackpot ball in this fucking bowl of 100 balls. There's going to be 2 major balls that are inside there. There's going to be 5 minor balls that are in there. And there's going to be 10 or 20 fucking mini balls that are in there. And then there's going to be probably 2 250x balls, 3 200x balls, and then the rest of them are just smaller values, right? And so think of it like the claw game. Every time you hit spin, the claw comes down and grabs a fucking ball. Almost every time you're going to grab a dead spin, right? But occasionally it's going to come down, it's going to grab a value ball. You got to win, which is why they set these up for most machines are like 93% for the RTP.
So there's actually a really good return to player overall, it seems like. It's just a matter of how patient you are, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So they want you to win. They have machines that have a higher RTP in the same fucking bank, right?
Right.
Um,
All right,
Alright.
welcome back.
Welcome back. Sorry, quick little bathroom break.
All right, so we're talking about balls.
Yeah. So, anyways, imagine you have the bowl of balls, right? Every time you hit play, the grabber goes down, it pulls out a ball.
This is where we
Most of
were.
the time, it's going to be a losing ball. The other, I would say, 40% of the time, it's going to be a win, but it's most likely not going to be even your bet back. You're going to win less than your bet back.
Okay.
On the rare occasion, your grabber is going to come down and it's going to pull out the big ball, right? It's going to pull out the 250x ball. It's going to pull out the 200x ball, or it's going to pull out the grand. Because they, like I said, they want you to win. Nobody would go to the casino if only people ever lost.
Right.
Right? People want to see other people win. And that encourage you to put more money into the machine to try to win. It's like, oh my God, that person just did it. Why not me? Why not now? And so when you go into the casino, you have this hope that you're going to win. Now, take that 100 balls and multiply it. It's millions and millions of spins that they program these machines to.
Is there any way to tell? Is there any tells on those machines? Because I've heard rumors like you can look at a machine and if you know what you're looking at, you could tell if it's getting ready to
Certain
hit or-
machines, they're set up for advantage players.
Gotcha.
Okay. The triple pop games where it's got 3 pots and you fill them up, those right there are perceived progressions, right?
Gotcha.
There's no way to tell it. But there's machines where it's got to hit by a certain point. Like there's some volcano game that my buddy plays, and it has to hit by a certain number. And the closer to that number you get, the more likely it is to hit. Like Ainsworth is another good example. Ainsworth makes these games. They have must hit by progressives.
Do
Now,
those progressives change, or are they like are they always like 10 grand? Like if you see it at like 9,800, you're like, oh, I need to go play this game right now because it's about
they
to
could
hit.
set them to whatever they want.
Okay.
So there's some casinos in Vegas where these Ainsworth games, they're $100,000. They must hit by 100,000. They start at 90,000. They must hit by 100,000.
Gotcha.
Right. Typically, Ainsworth keeps their must hit by progressions within $10,000 of starting point. Right. Because it takes a lot of coin in to get $10,000.
Oh yeah, when you're doing even $6 bets, that's a lot of freaking money.
All right, back to Dragon Link. Low limit Dragon Link, the major starts at $500. It maxes out at $1,000, right? In order to get from $500 to $1,000 on the machine, 1 cent represents, or $1 represents 1 cent on that major. Okay. So for every $1 you spend, 1 cent gets added to that major, right? 1/2 cent gets added to that grand.
Is that how like is that like how I noticed when I came out with you a couple weekends ago? I was watching the major and I think the minor climb, and it was every time you hit something, it just climbed a little bit, but you still won a significant amount of money back, whether it would be a bet or just over a bet.
Most
Is
games, the minor does not climb. The mini and minor stay the same.
okay, so it was
The
just
major and the
it was just
grand.
a major. I think I was seeing.
Yeah.
So is that what it is? That cent? Because it was like you were hitting it all the time, but it was just barely climbing. And I'm like,
Mhm.
why isn't this thing climbing way more? He's hitting it constantly.
Yeah. So
Is-
for every $1 on the low limit Dragon Link, for every $1, it climbs 1 cent to the major.
so if you're betting $3, it goes 3 cents
Yeah.
against the major. Okay.
Yeah, and so on. And $5 is 5 cents. It
Yeah,
climbs,
so on and so forth.
right?
Okay.
So what's the math on that? It's like what, $50,000 that it takes of coin in to climb from $500 to 1,000.
yeah, that's insane.
It's a lot of money,
That's
dude.
insane. You can basically
Or $5,000,
it's
not
it's
50.
not it's
I'm
made
tripping.
to where a guy couldn't come in there with a substantial amount of money and just bet on that machine all
Yeah.
night long, win
So-
it, and then move on.
So these machines, they're designed to collect X amount more than what that machine's going to pay out,
Okay.
right? So in between jackpots, it's designed to
Which
collect
makes
X
sense.
amount. However, now I remember what I was talking about. You could have a bank of machines. It could be 3, 6, 9, 12 different machines. It's all the same brand. In this case, we'll say it's all Dragon Link. They'll have 2 Autumn Moon, 2 Golden Century, 2 Peace of Long Life, 2 Happy and Prosperous, 2 this, 2 that, because there's a lot of different versions
Yeah.
of Dragon Link. And if you were able to get in the casino's actual information on slots, to what each slot is doing, you could have one machine that has an exponentially higher RTP than all of the rest, and one machine that's set to the absolute lowest legal limit than all of the rest.
And there's no way of finding that out. That's just something you gotta basically find out by playing and calculate yourself.
Well, there is a new product trying to be introduced into the slot world. It was called, and my buddy's partnering with the people that do it. It's let me look it up real quick.
okay.
It's a very, very fascinating.
Is this something that's sanctioned by the casinos, or is this something that they don't
The
want to
casinos
happen?
have to agree to it.
Oh, no kidding. So, and this is, I'm assuming, gonna kind of tell you what the RTP is on that
It'll
machine.
tell you what the RTP
Dude,
is. It'll tell you what
that's
the
gonna
last
be
jackpot it
dangerous.
was. Hold on, I'm gonna go to his videos, and I'll tell you what it's called. It was his lives, not his videos.
That's gonna be really interesting. I feel like that is gonna get a lot of people into gambling, which is
Okay, the new product is called Slot Check.
like an app on your phone.
It's not an app on your phone yet. Right now, you have to do it on the computer. So what you do is before you leave home, you go on your computer, you go to Slot Check. You can bring your computer with you to the casino because all casinos have free Wi-Fi. You log into your Slot Check app, and right now it's live in 3 casinos in the country. One in Washington, I think one in Oklahoma, and one somewhere back east.
Nothing here though.
Nothing here yet. They're
Dang.
trying to get it at the Peppermill. They almost had it at the GSR, but the GSR pulled back real quick
Really?
because they didn't want their information to be leaked to their competitors. I think that's
Oh,
bullshit.
whatever.
I think they didn't want their information to be leaked because their fucking machines are so tight.
Which is in like if you go to the GSR here, it shows for it. It's a beautiful casino on the inside.
It's all right. I've been to nice casinos.
Yeah, but you've been to Vegas.
Fontainebleau
I'm
is
talking
a
about
nice
here in
casino.
Reno is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Peppermill to me is nicer.
I haven't been.
Atlantis-
I haven't been in Peppermill.
Atlantis is pretty nice. They all have their perks. GSR is not horrible, but the crowd that goes to the GSR is trash. But anyways, this app is called Slot Check. So you log in, you go there, and let's say you want to play Buffalo, right? There's 23 different Buffalo games at whatever casino, right? You look them up. You could look at what the RTP is on each machine. You could look at when the last jackpot was hit on that machine for 30 days, anything within that 30 days. You can, and the casino is giving this information to show transparency. So it looks good for the casino to give this information. It makes the gambler want to go to that casino because it's like, oh, well, this casino is being honest with me. I want to play there more, right? And so by doing so, it's actually shown proof that it increases revenue at whatever casino is allowing this. right? Because now they feel like, oh, well, I could go in there and have a better chance of winning on this machine versus this machine. Doesn't mean you're going to win. You know, there's been plenty of cases, even with this app, that people look it up and they'll say, well, this Buffalo right here is paying really big. They'll sit down on it and they'll lose all their money. But the person next to them sitting on the one that's got a lower RTP is winning all the money, right? So you never know what these machines are going to do because, like I said, they're computers. They don't give a shit who's sitting there. They don't care whose card is in there. They don't give a fuck who's pushing the button. It's running a program that was designed by a developer that it's going to run a certain way. And when they say the machines are hot, that's because when you look at the string is what's inside these machines, inside the computer program. It's running. Imagine just some like bank of, we'll say it's like 2.7 million numbers, right? The computer's running through those 2.7 million numbers in lightning fast speed, like faster than you could even fucking fathom, right? It kind of looks like the gas pump. You see how those numbers go so fast when you're filling up your tank,
Unfortunately.
right? Yeah, your dollar amount's like,
Yeah.
well, it's doing that 10x going through these numbers.
Okay.
When they design these games, and we'll keep this relatively simple for layman's terms. 1 will be the grand jackpot. 2, 3, 4 will be dead spins. 5 will be like a 10-cent hit. 6, 7 will be dead spins. 8 and 9 will both be winning spins. 10, 11, 12 will be dead spins. And then 13 will be, we'll say, a 250x spin, right? Where you win 250x your bet. And then the next fucking 40 numbers will be dead spins and then 1 win. And then the next 50 numbers will be dead spins and then a win. And it just does that where there's more dead spins in this sequence of numbers than there are wins. But then there's points where there's more wins in that sequence of numbers. So for like every 10th spin or every 10th number going through is a win. So when you see people, they'll be hitting the button and they'll win, and then they'll hit it again and they'll win a little bit more. They'll hit it again, they'll win a little bit more because they're in that one section string of numbers where there's more wins than losses. That's all that is. That's a hot machine. But because you're going through millions of numbers, the string is fucking long, right? So it can be a really hot machine. Hot. It's not really hot. And then all of a sudden go cold because now you hit the sequence of numbers where there's more dead spins than wins.
Gotcha.
And it's all about timing. The press of that button.
Interesting.
Okay. It's what it is. It's all about timing. The press of that button. The millisecond you touch that button. And the machine already knows when you touch that button if it's a win or a loss. Okay. Because it pulls a set of numbers, right? Literally, when you press that button, it stops for a microsecond. It grabs those numbers. It's the ball coming out of the bowl, right? And that's what your win is. Now, when you hit a hold and spin, it changes a little bit because there's a second set of numbers that it's pulling from. All 15 boxes is its own game. All right. So each of those 15 boxes now has its own set of numbers or string of whatever balls they're going to be.
It's like a mini game inside the game itself,
Yeah.
basically.
In the computer. So it's running a secondary program for the bonus. The free spins, nobody's been able to directly answer this for me, and I've called manufacturers to ask this. Is that an independent bonus or is it a predetermined bonus? I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. But the hold and spin, it is a secondary bonus, right? So you land your 6 balls, those 6 numbers are already chosen, right? So it leaves the other 9 balls, right? The other 9 spaces.
Yeah.
Because you only need 15. That each one of those boxes is its independent game.
Okay.
So let's say you get box, would it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 4, 5, 6 has got numbers in it. And then 7 has a number in it. And then 14, 15 has a number in it, right? The rest of those boxes are empty. So now each time you hit the spin button, the other boxes have something going through it. And it is not predetermined if those will land or not. Each box makes a determination if in that spin something will land. and then a couple more land. So now you got, say, 9 boxes filled. You only need 6 more. And then you'll fill up a couple more boxes. Now you only need 3 more, right? And then you fill up a couple more boxes. Now you only need 2 more. And it's like, holy shit, I might get the grand. And then you get the 14th box filled. You may or may not get the grand, but the machine already knows if you're going to or not. From the second that that bonus started, it knows if this is a grand jackpot bonus.
Gotcha.
Okay. So it's kind of confusing, but they do this shit on purpose. The second that bonus is triggered, the game already knows if it's going to be the grand. What it doesn't know is what the numbers are going to be inside of each one of those boxes. Does that make any sense to you?
It knows the outcome. It just doesn't know how it's going to feed it to you.
Yeah. It knows the total outcome. It just doesn't know the individual outcome of each
Right.
box.
How? Yeah. Okay.
Right. So it doesn't know
So-
the dollar amount you're going to win.
So definitely knowledge does help. There is some skill in it then.
Mhm.
Obviously doing your reading sounds like that app's going to help a lot, which is going to be huge.
Oh, I
But-
can't wait.
There's obviously a lot of luck that's going to come and tail depending on what machine you kind of sit down on in
Yeah.
a sense.
I mean,
At least for somebody who doesn't know like
most
you do,
gamblers
you
are
know?
very superstitious. Okay.
Yeah.
Most gamblers are very superstitious. I'm very superstitious. I feel like, and this has happened to me more than once, I get this weird feeling in my stomach, in my gut, and it says, you need to go gamble. I have dozens of examples of this. One of my favorite examples was one night I was on my way home. It's like 10 o'clock at night. And I stop at the 1-9 truck stop. There's a Lucky's Casino inside there that I gamble at quite frequently. I'm in there taking a piss. It's late. Nobody's in there. And this voice in my head says, you need to go gamble. You need to play Happy and Prosperous. And you need to do $50 spins. And I started talking to myself out loud. Okay. I'm like, why do I need to go do that? And it says, you're going to win. And I said, how do you know I'm going to win? It's just, I know. Go do it. Trust me. I said, all right, I'm going to trust you. I'll go pull fucking $200 out of the ATM. And I'm talking out loud to myself. Okay. Anybody heard me that would have thought I was fucking crazy. I go to the ATM. I pull out $200. I put it in Happy and Prosperous. I put in, I think, $60. And I hit spin as a dead spin. So I put in $40 more. And I hit spin and I win $300. I hit spin again. It's a dead spin. I hit spin again and it drops me on the rollout one $2,500 orb, $1,000 orb, a $500 orb, a $250 orb, and two $50 orbs.
Okay.
Triggers it. I already got over $3,500 on the screen, dude. 4,000 on the screen. And I hit spin again, it drops me another 1,000. Right? And I hit spin again, it drops me another 1,000 because I got the fucking bonus. I ended up winning $6,800 because the voice in my fucking head told me you need to go do
Off
this.
$200 basically.
I didn't even put in the whole $200. I put in 60, dead spin. I put in another 40. I was in for 100.
But with the intentions of spending.
I still had the other 100 cash.
Yeah, with the intention.
with the intention, yeah.
That's cool.
And so that's happened to me more than once. When I was running for school board, I was on my way home after putting up signs, and the voice said, you need to go to the Fandango. And I walk into the Fandango casino, and it's a game I never fucking play. And the voice in my head says, you need to go to Pompeii, or however the fuck you pronounce that game. And I go over there, and the voice in my head says, you need to do $5 spins. So I do $5 spins, and I hit a fucking, it's not a hand pay, but I hit for a fucking $1,000. I hit this bonus.
Yeah, it's still good.
The bonus triggers, it re-triggers. It fucking gives me the bonus in the bonus, dude. Like, it's fucking is crazy. Like the night that I won the $7,800 playing, the voice in my head when I was in the bathroom said, you need to fucking go, ride or die.
Yeah.
Boom, I hit that. And it's happened to me so many fucking times where it's like that voice in my head, the gut feeling, and I listened to it and I've won a lot of fucking money. My second biggest win was 4th of July weekend last year. I had $400 cash, and it's weird. It's always $400 cash. It's the last cash I had, and 160 in free play. My buddy Jose, he's with me. Stephanie's with me. We're in the high limit room hanging out with some friends, and Jose says, let's go out on the floor and try to make some money with what you have. So we go sit down on some Dragon Links, and I'm playing 2 different Golden Centuries, and I turned the $400 and 160 in free play into 2,000 cash.
Wow.
Right? I'm ecstatic, dude. Like I got some fucking cash. I go back into the highlight room looking for Stephanie. Our friends tell us that she went upstairs because she said she was tired. So I call her and I'm like, "Where are you at?" And she's like, "I'm upstairs. I'm really tired." I'm like, "Well, that's stupid. You should be down here." And so our friends are playing the $1,000,000 Dragon Link. They're doing $50 spins. Earlier that evening, they both hit a $10,000 minor. NG Slots was there for his birthday. That's why we were all there. I watched him put $120,000 into Panda Magic. And this has no fucking bearing on what's going to happen with the machine. Okay. But every time NG's there and I watch him put over 100,000 into a machine for one of his lives, I always sit down on that machine after he's done and I win. Okay. He's doing $2,500 spins on this machine. And so he gets up from it. By the time I get back into the high limit room, he's gone. So I go over to the Panda Magic. I put in $100. I do 4 $25 spins. That's minimum bet on that machine. And I lose. And Jose's like, well, let's go back out onto the floor. And I'm on the phone with Stephanie. I said, no, I want to try one more 100. And I put in one more 100. And I go to $2 denom. Minimum bet is $50. Okay. And I hit spin. 2,500, 500, 1,000. Fucking, it was like 750, $50 and a $10,000 minor.
Oh wow.
Holy shit. I'm on the phone with Stephanie. Right? I haven't released this video. I still have it on my phone. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I just hit the fucking minor. I gotta go. I need to record this. Like, I fucking freak out really bad. I hang up on Stephanie and I start recording. And before I was done recording, Stephanie was already back downstairs. Mind you, we're up on the fucking 18th floor of the fucking
she
Tuscany
flew
Tower.
downstairs.
She fucking flew downstairs, dude. Because we're all the way to the one side of the fucking building. And she's up in the room in her fucking pajamas. She throws her clothes back on, fucking flies downstairs. And before this bonus is even over, she's down there, dude. Like, and so that was the beginning of that particular weekend. Holy shit, dude. I could not fucking believe it. I've been trying to get a minor on one of these $1,000,000 Dragon Links since I started gambling, right? I finally hit a fucking minor. I still have not hit a major yet. That's my next bucket list item, is to hit a major on a $1,000,000 Dragon Link, because those start at 25,000. All right.
Oh wow.
They max out at 50,000.
Okay.
All right. So the minor and the mini, they're stationary. So on the $25 denom, or the $1 denom, it's $1,000 and $5,000. On the $2 denom, it's $2,000 and fucking $10,000. On the $5 denom, it's $5,000 and $25,000. On the $10 denom, it's, I think, what, 12,500 and 50,000.
Okay.
Right. So it just keeps going up from there. But anyways, I hit that. Stephanie's downstairs. I got the fucking video. I'm super ecstatic. They come out, they pay me, dude. They slap the 10,000 in there. They slap a 5,000 band in there, and pay me out the fucking 900 in cash. Super ecstatic. I tipped them a couple $100. And now Stephanie and I are on it. Every fucking machine that we touched, and I was listening to my gut all night long. Every machine we touched, we hit a hand pay on.
Oh wow.
Over Friday and Saturday, I won $55,000.
Gee, good weekend.
That's a good weekend.
That's a good weekend.
So, and it wasn't just at the Pepper Mill. So Saturday night, we went and seen a comedian, which I thought was boring as fuck. Stephanie loved her. I didn't like her at all. We go to the Atlantis. We watch the show. I'm fucking literally falling asleep for this comedy show. I am so fucking bored. She's not funny at all. The show finally ends. Thank fucking God, dude. Oh my God. I hate this shit. I love comedy shows, but this bitch was dumb. And it was like something Rutner. I can't remember her name. I didn't like her. We'll say that. I can't say it enough. I didn't like her. She was terrible. Stupid fucking comedian. We go downstairs. I sit down on my Buffalo Link because I love Buffalo Link. And because I've won so much money already, I got like $20,000 in my bag that I hold all my camera equipment in.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down on Buffalo Link, dude, and I'm doing dimes, minimum bets $10. And I'm just hitting bonus after bonus. Dude, I drew a fucking crowd around me because I'm being so wild and outgoing. Like, oh shit, I got another bonus. Woohoo, yeah. People are fucking like, people love this shit. right? I'm recording this fucking video. People are loving it. They think it's fucking amazing. Like, what's your YouTube? I'm like, Reno Low Roller, man. Check it out. And while I'm talking to somebody, I hear the slap. It's the major. I've never landed a major on Buffalo Link in my life. And finally I did. And this major, it's a high limit Buffalo Link out on the floor. They took it out of the high limit room and put it on the floor. The grand is at like 128,000 or some shit. The major at that night was at like $3,800. I slapped the fucking major, which is super awesome. Right. So our winning streak continued. I got over $20,000 in my bag. And dude, it was just a fucking epic weekend. Every machine that we touched, dude, we're hitting jackpots on. Jackpot after jackpot after jackpot. It was beautiful, dude. 55,000. I have not won a jackpot since then.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna take a quick break here. I'm gonna use the restroom and go grab some stuff, and then I got 2 other questions for you.
All right.
Alrighty. All right. Welcome back. Just a couple more things, very quick, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Um, where are they here? Yeah, kind of like, what's your golden rule? Do you have one?
Was my what?
Like a golden rule where you start, stop, like, is there a point in time where you're just like, this is it, this is my rule, this is where I'm no longer gonna gamble or anything like that? You know what I mean?
Like quit gambling for good?
No, like for the night.
For the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I lose all my money.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So, okay. It's always important to set limitations. Like I have a certain number in the bank account that I cannot go below
Yeah.
because we still have our weekly expenses that we got to
So you
do.
treat it like a hobby, like you like a lot of guys.
No, I treat it like a business. You got to spend money to make money. That's how I treat it.
Right, but on the contrary, there's a lot of, like, for me with my stuff that I do, like I would set money aside and be like, this is what I'm going to spend on this, and the rest of this can go towards whatever. You kind of do the same thing with gambling. Then
Yeah.
you look at it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have my certain amount. I pay all the bills that I need to pay for the week. That it's gone. So that way it doesn't get spent.
And even if like you start a month, right? Let's say you start a month with like a set amount that you're going to spend that month on gambling. If you just lose all that money in the first 2 weeks, are you done? Let's say you just cap it out.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's why I didn't do a live for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because
I know you've been having a rough time, man.
Yeah,
I was watching.
Didn't have the money, and when you're on a losing streak like I've been,
I think that's probably that's another thing I want to get into. That's like the definition, or not definition. That's the difference between someone who's addicted and someone who still has control over the situation.
Somebody that's addicted's taking out loans and pawning everything they own just to
not paying bills, just gambling instead.
Shit's just racking up.
Yeah,
my bills are all paid.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I have to set a bill back, but that's because my check was short. And then I got to choose: am I going to gamble this week or am I going to pay my bills this week? And it's always pay my bills first.
Yeah, okay.
All
right. And that's really sums up about everything I wanted to cover. I mean, the only other question I guess I would ask is where it gets dangerous, but that's like what you just covered is kind of where it gets dangerous. Same thing as like someone being addicted. It's kind of where you get into that area where you're not paying bills, you're pulling out a bunch of loans, you're pawning important stuff, maybe family stuff, just to go gamble $100.
It's very irritating to me when people try to make gambling sound like it's some deviant thing.
I don't think it is.
I can name anything in the world, hobbies can be just as dangerous.
100%.
Right? I know people that play video games all day. They'll call out of work because they're in, the middle of some fucking important match on a video game so that way they could continue.
Yeah.
Right? They'll call their boss like, oh, I don't feel good today because they're in the middle of a fucking video game. Anything can become a dangerous hobby where you're way too addicted to it. Fucking cell phones are way too addictive, right? Anything could be addictive, but for some reason, society as a whole has tried to make gambling sound like it's some kind of a degenerate fucking thing where they have the gambling helpline for addicted gamblers and yada, yada, yada. I call bullshit on it. It's weak-minded people that don't have any fucking limitations. That's all it is.
They have no self-control.
Yeah, they have no self-control. That's what it is, and that can happen with anything, right? And it's not just gambling. It could be anything. If you're one of those people that you're weak-minded, you can't control the gambling, you want to use it as a fucking excuse, that's you. Don't make the rest of the gamblers sound like they're some kind of weak degenerates, I
Well,
gamble. I gamble because it's fun. Like I said, I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. You know, I don't go out and party. I don't fucking do anything else. I go to work. I go to the casino. That's basically all I do. You know, like I come over to your place. That's it. I don't do anything else. You know, it's what
Yeah.
I love to do. That's
Yeah.
my hobby. I have friends that spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on fishing equipment. Okay, fishing equipment because that's what they love. I don't give them a hard time for it. They have a badass boat. They have some really fucking nice reels that I know nothing about, but they say they're the best in the line. I have friends that spend fucking thousands and thousands of dollars on golfing equipment.
Yeah.
It's fucking boring, right? You go, oh, fucking yay. This is a par four. Whatever. They love it. I don't give them a shit for it, you know? They don't give me shit for my gambling. It's a mutual thing. I have friends that are gamblers and golfers. You
Yeah.
know, they do both. They spend way too much money on both of them. Fuck it. That's their money.
Yeah.
Do what you feel is best with your money. Leave my the fuck money alone out of your mouth. I don't give a shit what you have to say about it. I'm going to gamble.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my thing. I have a YouTube channel that I got to maintain. I do my lives as often as I can. I wish I could do them more. If there was a way that I could make gambling a full-time career, I would fucking do it in a minute.
Right.
You know, there are people that have been very successful gambling. Vegas low roller is one of them, right? He bought his house in cash from his gambling wins. He moved to fucking Vegas with his mom. He has a really good thing going on. And he set money aside in case the YouTube thing ever crashes. You know, there are people out there that have won a lot of money gambling, solely gambling, right? If you listen to Daniel's fucking story, he actually quit his really good job to start yard selling before he became a big YouTuber, right?
Mhm.
He would go and find little treasures at yard sales and then turn around and fucking sell them on eBay to support his gambling. And that's where his shit started, you know, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And, you know, he's a fucking an OG superstar in the gambling world.
Yeah. Well, cool. And then we'll wrap it up there. I appreciate everyone tuning in and hanging out with me and Jason. Thanks for answering my questions, Jason. Explain
No
that.
problem.
It's been kind of nice because like I said, I don't know anything about it, so it's been kind of nice learning stuff about it.
One of these days we'll do a podcast at the casino. We'll record some video and we'll air it on here so that way we could talk about it
Yeah.
and then show some video of us actually gambling and putting the words into reality so you guys can see what it is.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Remember, like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, do whatever you want. We love to hear from y'all, and we'll wrap it up there.
Look, one last thing before we go. If you actually have a problem with gambling, I'm not trying to trash on you. There are numbers out there you could call. Call them, get the help you need. Stay out of the casino because clearly you have no control over what you're doing. And if you're pawning everything you own just to gamble, that's a problem. Get some help. Don't just destroy your life because there are a lot of people that have committed suicide from losing everything. And I don't need you to be a statistic. Get the help you need and get away from the casino if you cannot control what you're doing. With that, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you know we're going live. For Avery, for me, thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.